Hey guys, Dan the Marketing Man here. I'm actually on vacation right now. That's why I'm in a little bit of a different setting, but I still wanted to bring you guys value. Next week is Christmas. There's still a lot of people closing deals here in our agency, so I just want to make it clear. Last year, I started my agency in October of 2020, okay, which is arguably one of the worst times that you could start a business, but I was doing it and I was still hitting 10K every single month by myself, alone as one person. And now, I actually have a team of people who are constantly helping me. So, today's Tuesday, I'm on vacation and we've been closing deals since yesterday. We got one yesterday, we got one in today, and I think we have a couple more that are going to be closing. But the whole point is, doesn't matter what time of the year it is, people are still going to be buying marketing services. So I just want to talk about some of the ways that you can actually get through to people and start setting appointments. So as you can see from the title of this video, it's going to be showing you how to set 5 to 10 appointments every single day. Now, if you're new to my channel, you can watch other videos where I'm actually doing live cold calls for outreach. I've done like social media outreach, and I'm kind of breaking down also like the scripts and stuff like that I use, like the methods, like the actual tangible ways to do that. You can see that on those videos. But this is kind of going over like the psychology of what goes into actually setting appointments, getting attention online, but more importantly, getting people interested in what you're selling. So without further ado, if you're still watching this right now, make sure to like and subscribe because it really helps the algorithm, and it's free and it really helps me. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so as I said, I'm going over more of the psychology behind setting appointments, right? How do you get attention and more importantly, get interest with prospects who don't even know who you are? So I'm not an artist, but I kind of wanted to just show you visually what the process is, right? What happens to prospects when you're actually reaching out to them. So in this case, we're gonna start doing, let's just use cold calling as the example, right? So again, I'm not an artist, but just imagine that this is a brain for a second, okay? There's 3 layers of the brain. And then you have like a little brain stem. So for those of you who are not familiar with this, again, we're just going over, what happens when somebody gets a phone call, right? Number 1, it goes through the croc brain, okay? This is what gets attention, right? When people get attention, if I start calling somebody on a cold call, the first thing that's going to happen, they're going to get really scared. Okay? And whether they're, whether they don't really know it or not, that's what happens, They're just like, oh my God, who's calling me? And that's what we call the croc brain. So they're just kind of getting attention. They're not really sure who's calling them. They don't really feel safe because they don't know who's calling. It's just a random number on the phone. So imagine you're getting a phone call. The first thing that's going to happen is, who the heck is calling me? I'm not really comfortable. I don't know who's calling me. I'm scared. So as soon as they answer the phone, hello, who's this? You have literally 3 to 5 seconds to make that first impression. So again, if you guys haven't seen already, watch my cold calling video so you can see some of my, the tactics that I use. You can actually also download the free appointment script right now in the description. So if you want that, check it out. But we have a couple seconds to make them feel comfortable, be likable, so that they feel trusted, that basically that they're safe to talk to us. So, in that first couple of seconds, hey, this is Dan. I'll be quick. I was just looking for, a realtor that works with sellers. That could just be like an example, right? I'm in the real estate industry, so I work with a lot of loan officers and realtors. So the first thing that I'll say is, hey, my name is Daniel. I'm looking for a realtor that works with sellers, right? So in this case, we're just trying to qualify to make sure that we're actually speaking to the right person. But you want to focus on a couple things here. Because again, we still have to make sure that they like us and that they trust us because they don't know us. So there's a couple ways to do that. So I've actually studied Jordan Belfort's straight line persuasion. For those of you who don't know, he actually used to do a lot of the phone sales. So he taught people how to do sales over the phone. And one thing that you have to do is, first of all, be trustworthy and be likable. So we do that in a couple of ways, using your tonality and being sharp as a tack. So I'll explain what that means. So again, in these first couple of seconds, you want to sound very enthusiastic. Hey, it's Daniel. I'm looking for a realtor that works with sellers, right? So sound enthusiastic, but more importantly, you also have to sound sharp as a tack. You have to be very confident on the phone, and you can do that by, always listening back to your calls, practicing the script, the same way you would practice a song, right? Drake just released a new album. I'm gonna, go on Genius, read the lyrics, and play the song until I learn all the words. You gotta do that same thing with the script. So you gotta know the script like the back of your hand. That way when people are asking you questions or, once you're in the conversation, you already know what to say. So again, enthusiasm, and you also have to be on top of it. Be sharp. Know exactly what you're saying. Because it's really not what you say, it's more how you say it. So again, your tonality, your confidence is gonna show through on that phone call. So in that first couple seconds, hey, this is Dan. I'm looking for a realtor that works with sellers. So we've done a couple things now. Now they know why we're calling, and they know that your name is Daniel, right? They don't really know who you are, but we're going to get into that. So once we get through that croc brain, now we're going to start to go through a little bit of criticism, right? We go through the emotional part of the brain. So we've got the croc brain, the little C, and then we got the E, which is emotion. So that's when you're going to get a lot of criticism. So you're going to get, no, I'm not interested. No, I hate you. No, this or that, right? And this goes not only for cold calls, but also social media DMs, right? Oh, I just got a DM from somebody I don't really know. And then right away, if you're on the phone with them, no, I'm not interested. So now they feel safe that you're not going to kill them. Now it's just an emotional response. And just for you guys out there who don't know, the steps to the sale always starts with a no. You must go through criticism in order for people to like you, right? Think of, if you're in the United States, think of Donald Trump. Got so much criticism when he first got into office, and now everybody's like, oh wait, I like Trump. Or even think of somebody as polarizing as like 6ix9ine, right? Kind of like a rapper, right? Everybody hated 6ix9ine. And then he started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you must go through criticism in order to be likable, in order to be liked. So what do we do in this case? No, I'm not interested. Okay, really quick, before you hang up the phone, you probably get calls like this all the time. I'm not selling some BS service. I actually just want to network with people who work with sellers, or I want to, network with dentists in Atlanta, or whatever, your offer is, whether you're doing it through social media or if you're doing it over the phone. By the way, over the phone, cold calling is the fastest way to get a client. So if you guys want help on that, watch my cold calling videos. But again, we must go through criticism. We must go through the emotion in order to set the appointment. So that means if people are hanging up on you, if people are, cursing you out, which is rare, or if people are like, no, I'm not interested, or they sound kind of like upset with you on the phone, that's a good thing. It's kind of contradicting, right? Because you're like, wait, but they're upset. But that's where the rebuttal comes in. Hey, I'm not interested. Okay, really quick, before you hang up, you probably get calls like this all the time. This is not that same call. And by the way, can I ask, what are you doing right now to get new deals? What are you doing right now to get new patients, to get new customers? Give a little rebuttal there. Now that we've gone through the emotional part of the brain where they're like, okay, I feel safe around this person. I understand that they're calling because, they're interested to see if I could do X for them. Then we get into the part where they start thinking logically for a second. And this is good because then if you've gotten criticism, then you're going to start to see, they're going to start asking you questions like, where are you calling from? How did you get my number? Right? Then they start to think about it for a second. Wait, okay, so I feel safe. I've made an emotional decision about this call. Let's start to think about this logically. And that's where we come in. So you've given that first rebuttal, those first two rebuttals. Hey, really quick, I don't want to waste your time selling you over the phone. I just want to see if I can send you guys like a quick email. That way you can see what we do. What's a good email for you? And then maybe you'll get like another objection right there. But logically, they're going to be like, okay, one of two things. Either I'm going to give him this email to get him off the phone, or number two, let's just see what he has. And most of the time, it is number two if you've done your job right. And again, this is why you always have to listen back to your phone calls, listen back to your cold calls, anything that you're doing, so you can self-reflect and review what you're doing. So in this order, one more time, step to the close. They go through croc brain, right? Oh my God, who's calling me? I'm scared. Then they get an emotional response. No, go away. I don't want anything to do with you. And then once you get through that first rebuttal, if they're still on the phone, okay, let's think about this logically for a second. Who's calling me right now? Who are you? Where are you calling from? How did you get my number? Well, great question. I actually wanted to send you guys some information so you can see what we do, and maybe I can follow up with you a little bit later on tomorrow. What's a good email for you? And at that point, that is the best way to start getting emails to get appointments, because many times the way that we do it, we don't actually close them on the first call. Never. Especially if it's a cold call. What the heck? They don't even know who you are. So what we do is we get their information, right? Just get their email. Most of the time, if you're using like a lead scraper or something, you already have all their information, which you can also find in the description. You can have access to Lead Carrot. It's a really good lead scraper that integrates with Go High Level, so check that out. But yeah, many times they'll be like, what's a good email for you? Oh, it's gmail@gmail.com. And again, if you have a lead scraper, you can already see that there. Okay, that's a good email. Okay, great. So I'm going to send you over some information. Is it okay if I follow up with you later today or tomorrow? And at that point, now you're getting permission to call back. So the next time you don't have to go through this, 3-step phase. They already know who you are and what you do, because then when they read that email, okay, everything's in there. So they know who your company is, where you're calling from, what your offer is, why are you even reaching out to them? So this is a really great method to get 5 to 10 appointments every single day. Now, I don't have actual tactics on this video because I have that on every single other video, but I thought that this would be very helpful for you guys who are trying to get into cold calling. Maybe you've done a couple cold calls already and you're just like, man, it's really hard. And it is, but that's because we take their emotions so seriously, when in reality, it's just a reaction. It's not really how they feel. So definitely don't take those, rejections personally, because it's just an emotional response. So you must go through that criticism again to get to the appointment. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful for you. All right, guys, with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Let me know what you guys thought about in the comments. Right now, guys, my community is so small. So if you have any questions, chances are I will respond to you. So make sure that you write a comment right now. That way I can respond to you. Again, if you need any help with anything else, make sure to check out the links in the description. There's a lot of help for free appointment stuff on there. What I send in the actual email can be found in the description as well. There's some extra training in there for you too. So yeah, again, if you are still watching this video, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like it and subscribe. Algorithm, please save me. Again, it just really helps out the channel without having to actually give me money for that. So yeah, I just want to give you guys as much content, as much value as I can, especially while I'm on vacation. I have nothing really to do. So I'm going to be making a ton of videos. If you guys want to see something specifically, make sure you write that in the comments as well. And with that being said, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys.